everyone. If you've been enjoying the programming that we here at GIS in Space have been creating for you over these past 4 years, both in real life and virtually, we'd like to ask you to become a patron of our 501c3 nonprofit organization so that we can keep it all going.
If you've enjoyed our original Trek-inspired musical performances presented during our virtual celebrations.
Not to mention the fabulous Trek-themed drag.
Or maybe it's the real-life science thing.
Or maybe it's because you've enjoyed interacting one-on-one with your favorite Star Trek actors.
And if you're like me, you have met some incredible friends that have become your besties.
Or, hey, maybe you met the love of your life at a GIS in Space event.
Or maybe simply hearing all of the many diverse voices in our community finally being respected and represented within the Star Trek universe is the reason you want to be a part in making sure these things continue.
Whatever your individual reason is for wanting more of what GIS in Space has created, the way to make it happen is the same. Become a patron and join us in our fight to ensure the continued inclusion of the LGBTQ+ community in Star Trek and in science fiction storytelling. And always remember that to fix the problems of today, we must have hope for tomorrow. Thanks.
The Kinians are an alien race that settled on Earth 500,000 years ago. They are back, Jim. The Ash has great power and is used as a weapon by the aliens, and we need you to make contact with one of them. Try to find out what their purpose is now.
There are a lot of things here at the base that will defy the logic the rest of the world knows.
When I saw what the Ash was capable of, I wanted to run.
You should have.
Let's go!
In protecting the ones we love, the world can be stronger. You must trust yourself.
Let's get this! Hurry!
Keep it gay, keep it light, keep it fresh, keep it fair. Let it bloom every night. Give it room. Never stand still. Keep your love a lovely dream and never wake it. Come on, Mike. Keep it gay, keep it gay, keep it gay. Keep it gay, keep it gay, keep it gay.
Good evening and welcome to another virtual celebration brought to you by your friends here at, now say it with me, GIS in Space. Tonight, we're joined by a legendary icon of science fiction. For the past 34 years, he's portrayed the greatest warrior in the galaxy, Klingon Officer Worf, on both Star Trek The Next Generation and Star Trek Deep Space Nine. He's appeared in more episodes of the Star Trek franchise than any other actor in history and is continuing to entertain sci-fi audiences everywhere, this time, sans makeup, as Alistair in the brand new sci-fi thriller Agent Revelation. We are thrilled to welcome our friend, Mr. Michael DORN. Also tonight, our trivia contest will have personally autographed photos of our special guests up for grabs, and one lucky fan will be randomly selected to win a $50 gift card from the Agent Revelation online store. Now, please welcome your host, Dan Deevy.
Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us. I have with me tonight, as always, the first gentleman of GIS in Space, Mr. Richard Hart. He is the, no pun intended, the beating heart of the technology of GIS in Space. And we also have with us the fabulous and amazing Kira Knotts as
hello.
Creator. Hello.
Welcome.
And tonight, you heard it, and Mike Sargent said it way better with his radio voice. We have the incredible Michael DORN. Michael, how are you?
Good. How are you doing? But he kind of sounded a little bit like me there for a second.
A little bit, right? Yeah. Yeah, so it is great to have you here, and it's so exciting to have a new sci-fi thriller that you're a part of. We get to see your actual face, but let's start off. Tell everybody about the movie.
Well, the movie is, once again, aliens trying to take over the world violently. And I play a guy called Alistair, who the aliens had recruited early. And I actually said, no, I'm not going to do this. You know, it's not really my thing. And they say, well, if you don't, then we're going to kill your son. And basically, I kind of throw my son under the bus to help them. And I regret it. And now I am trying my best to, because I have all this money in the world, I've created this world, this company, and all they do is they fight these aliens. And I'm trying to atone for my bad behavior in the past. And I'm using Derek as as my instrument of atonement. And he has a lot of issues going on, as all of us do. I mean, he's trying to make up for it, and no matter how much money he spends, he discovers that he can't make up for it. It's going to be with him for the rest of his life. And so I've kind of brought that sort of into the character. You know, this what kind of, yeah, I'm doing the best I can, but I know it's never going to be enough. So.
One of the things that I really like about this movie, and I'm imagining this is one of the reasons why you wanted to do it, it ultimately has a very positive Roddenberry-esque message to it. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, I think that interestingly enough, I mean, the Roddenberry way of doing things, the message is totally unambiguous. I mean, you've got the message, you know. This one is a little less unambiguous. In fact, I would say that there is a message, but the good thing is that they leave it open for the audience to kind of figure out what is the underlying message. I mean, the overt message is, yeah, we got to stop these aliens from doing shit. But the underlying message is something that we all can sort of, make up our own mind what it means.
Yeah, why are aliens always doing shit? You know, like they really got to calm down out there.
I want to write a show about aliens coming down here, and they come down, they say, look, we really want to help you guys out with everything. And we constantly kill them. You know, there's somebody that kills them, and then the next alien comes down and says, look, yeah, I understand what you're going through, but let us help you. And they kill him. Another one comes down, he goes, look, guys, you've already killed two of our guys. We can cure cancer. We can cure this. We can cure this. We get rid of all the thing like that, and they kill him. You know, there's always like the soldier that's sitting back going, I think they're trying to take over, you know, and well, they're the nicest aliens ever, you know.
You've got all the don't tread on me people. Yeah, don't cure cancer. That's our disease. Yeah. We have a right to that. It's in the Constitution, I think.
Well, I think they want to cure cancer because there'll be more of us to eat.
Yeah.
You know.
The other thing that I just want to mention about the film before we open it up to questions and bring in some folks, you kind of have a couple of Yoda moments in this film. You're very much the mentor, and I gotta say, you wear it very well. I really liked kind of seeing you in that role.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, that's one thing that I liked about it, is that it wasn't, you know, a lot of times, you know, even on television, you know, when I audition for television roles, you know, it's a lot of, you know, exposition. You know what I mean? It's a lot of talking and not really saying anything. And this wasn't about that. This was, you know, you're basically telling the story, you know, and I liked all that stuff. I mean, I think he's a smart guy, and he gives information, you know, that's very important to the, you know, to the movie.
Yeah, I think when people hire you, they just want you to never stop speaking.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's like, we got Dorn. Get it, keep him talking. Come on. I'm not gonna waste this.
I feel like there was an actress back in the 50s and named Linda Darnell, a lovely actress, but her face was exquisite, and they called her the Face. And so that's what I am. I'm not Michael Dorn. I'm not an actor. I'm the voice.
The voice.
The voice.
Yeah. Well, we all do have our crosses to bear, my friend.
Yeah. It could be worse, I guess, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, Kira, do we have our first question queued up to go?
We do. Let me just promote them to a panelist.
Excellent. Oh, and while you're doing that, I should let everyone know, you heard in the intro that we're going to be giving away a $50 gift card to the Agent Revelation online store. You've been automatically entered in that just by having your ticket. Towards the end of the event, we're going to bring on our other Gaze in Space family member, Mr. Nick Jones. He's in charge of the Who Wins It wheel, and we will spin that wheel, and one of you will win that gift card. All right. We're bringing in our first surprise guest of the night.
Derek. Uh-oh.
How's it going?
What is it, like 3 in the morning or something there? Or
No, it's 9 a.m. It's 9 a.m. It's perfect for me.
Okay, great. How you doing, man?
Excellent.
Oh,
good to see you.
Yeah,
Dan reached out to me, so I figured I'd pop in and say hello.
Well, you know, that's perfect, because if he asks some technical question about the movie, you can jump right in and give an intelligent answer.
Well, I'm loving seeing you out there and talking about the movie, so it's awesome.
Man, it's pretty wild. I don't think I did this much press for one of the Star Trek movies. I mean, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, because people love you. People love you.
Thank you.
So, Derek, I think the question that everyone here has for you is, what's it like directing Dorney? How do you, like, if he does something you're not thrilled with, I wouldn't want to have to tell him, readjust that, or that's not.
I guess you know him pretty well. He's fantastic. I mean, he's easy to work with, honestly. I mean, obviously he has the presence. So, you don't want to get on his bad side. He's done so much great work.
What was that? You reminded me of something that I did. I forgot what it was. I said something about, are you sure about this or something? Do you remember what that was?
On another show we were talking, like when I first met Michael, it was in person. It was very quick. And then, of course I'm in the middle of shooting and just, we're going scene by scene. And, I wanted to make sure Michael was comfortable, but also we were going to bring him on very soon. And he has a lot of dialogue. And when you're the director and writer, you tend to change things a little bit on the fly, a little bit, just a little bit. So I cut a few lines in the middle of his monologue, and, Michael was just like, okay, all right. Wasn't too happy. I was like, so sorry. I'm so sorry. Because I know too, because he prepared and he practiced and everything. And then when you do that to an actor, it's not a pleasant thing. So, but I had fun. You guys probably know that Michael's a director as well. So, I felt like he was mentoring me and coaching me all along. It was great.
The reason I ask it is because it is just such a misperception about Michael that he would be, a big scary, like, oh no, gruff or whatever, because of the, knowing him as Worf, as a Klingon. But, Michael, I hope you don't mind me saying this. You're a softie. You're a very laid back, chill softie. If he's ever upset about anything, he just goes away. He just walks away. There's no...
I know.
Lovely.
I know. I just go flat, as Nana Visitor said. Yeah. No, I've always been sort of. In fact, my one of my dear friends calls me Captain Naivete, because I really think the best of everybody, you know. And she'll say, Michael, that guy is a real jerk. I said, really? Is he? You know? And I mean, you know, life is no matter what you're doing, life is great. And you could be, I think Louis C.K. said, you know, yeah, we could be living in a place where they're like, oh my God, they're cutting off all of our heads this morning. You know what I mean? It could be, you know, we could be living in a place like that. So I think, you know, life is great, no matter what you're doing, except when they cut lines, and then.
Yeah, that's when it's hard to keep your mouth shut. No, yeah.
That's when and this is me being upset.
It is so.
That's the face. I think that's it, guys. I think that's it. That's the one. Print.
So Derek, real quick, tell us what the reactions are that you've gotten so far from people. I mean, we've seen trailers, you've released some exclusive clips, and some people have been lucky enough to see it early. What's the response been so far?
Oh, it's been great. It's been great. We've been seeing some really good reviews. I mean, I think we're reaching the people that, you know, we're interested in. That's what we want to do. It's an intelligent movie. It's not like you can't just sit back and just, you know, turn your brain off. You have to pay attention, because you're going to miss a lot of information if you don't. But all the information is there. I think that's why the Star Trek fans are, you know, would be really appreciative of it, because I think they're of that, you know, level to take that in.
And it's also beautifully shot, and the special effects I felt were so crisp and vivid. The colors were so like 4K resolution when there was, you know, like the energy field or any of that stuff, that, you know, hats off to that. It really, the movie is not about that, but as part of the backdrop palette, it beautifully done.
Thanks. I mean, you know, we brought Michael in, and you know, he's an icon, he's a legend, and it had to be, you know, the best ingredients for him. You know, he really brought it, and obviously he's going out and talking about the movie, so, you know, we want to represent him well. And it took me 3 months to find this really good studio based in LA. Chad Finnerty, he's done Tron Legacy. He just did Greyhound with Tom Hanks. He's the VisFX supervisor for that. So, you know, they're amazing. They do all the big shows, The Flash and Fear the Walking Dead and all that. So, yeah, we wanted to bring it.
Well, you did. You definitely succeeded there. Let's remind everybody, it releases tomorrow, January 22nd. Video on demand, correct? Like everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere. Yeah, it's on premium. You should be able to catch it in the 90-day window if you want to see it early, and you know, help support the film, and then it'll go from there. It's being released by Quiver Distribution. They're great. You know, after our movie, Viggo Mortensen's movie is coming out like 2 weeks later from them too. So they're a really great company, and you know, we're excited.
Very nice. Awesome. Well, Derek, thank you so much for zooming in from where are you right now?
Hong Kong. Thank you for having me. Totally. You know, love you, Michael. Love you guys. I'll talk to you guys soon. All right.
You bet. See you later.
Thank you so much. All right. And Kira, if you can go ahead and queue up the next question.
Yep. Martha Z will be joining as a panelist.
Hey, Martha, how you doing?
Hello.
Good to see you. How have you been?
Been great, yeah.
Excellent. Please meet Michael. Michael, this is Martha.
Hello, Martha. How are you?
Hello. Oh, what a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure. You bet.
So yeah, first of all, I've watched the trailer, I don't even know how many times now. And I'm really excited for the movie. I'm so excited that you chose this project, because it's not a reboot, it's not a remake, you know, it's something new. And I'm really, really excited to see the movie and see just something new and fresh, you know, in sort of this world of remakes and reboots. And I must say, you look so handsome in the trailers. And I gotta say, I have to say it, because I was just like, oh my, look at Michael Dorn.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
My question, though, it might be a little bit off, but I did notice in some of the clips that were released and in some of the trailers, and Dan kind of hit a little bit on this, about the yoga, but I also saw that maybe there were some scenes where you were doing more like Tai Chi or something along those lines. And I'm just curious if that was something you trained for in the movie, or is that something that is sort of part of your everyday life? If that's something that you do, or did you get to kind of learn it for this role?
No, actually, it started in Next Generation. The second year, Worf was kind of wild and out of control and yelling and screaming. And I told Gene Roddenberry, I said, look, I know what you're trying to do, but can we do something else? And he's always open to stuff like this. What do you want to do? And I said, well, I like the guy to be a martial arts, like Klingon martial arts. And so I got with Dan Curry from the special effects department, who's a master, and we just created this world of Klingon martial arts. Wow. And every time there was a lot of times where Worf would be fighting, I'd get together with Dan. We'd go through a bunch of things, and then we get together with the stunt coordinator, and we go through a bunch of things, to make it look, for them right. And so that's kind of how it started. I started to take martial arts a little bit, but I never really finished. But I enjoy the whole mystique about martial arts and the discipline. And that's a very funny story. I'm doing my little thing, and he says, "Okay, Michael, what do you?" And so I start doing the little Tai Chi and doing all this, and I go, well, yeah, now this is what you do, and to Derek, and I go, Derek, and he goes, oh yeah, I've studied martial arts my whole life.
Oh,
great. Yeah. And he goes, no, I want you to teach me, because that's what the story is. You're teaching me. But I enjoy it. I enjoy the spiritualness of it all too. It's my favorite thing. So yeah.
And is it something you practice in your daily life, like as sort of a spiritual or even just mental health, especially right now with everything going on? Yeah. Something you continue to practice?
Yeah, but not martial arts. Well, I guess you could call it martial arts. It's called Jinzen Jitsu, which is a way of going through life basically, and dealing with situations and things like that, and how to, mind-body connection. When I went to the guy that I've been going to for years, the first question he said was, Michael, does your brain know what your body's doing? And I go, yeah. Does your body know what your brain is doing? And and then you kind of go, well, yeah, I think so. And he's trying to tell you that there's a real connection between the two.
Very cool. Thank you. Well, if you ever want to, put out a guided meditation, your voice is perfect for it. And I would 100% subscribe to that YouTube channel or podcast.
Very good idea.
Well, thank you so much, Dan. Thanks for having me, Michael. It's been such a pleasure. Thank you so much. And I'm really excited for the movie.
Cool. Enjoy it.
Thank you, Martha. I am going to put you back into the attendees. So you'll leave for a second and then you'll hop right back in.
Okay, thanks.
Excellent.
All right.
Okay.
Before anything I have to say, I love a man who dresses for the occasion. Love it.
You know me, Dan.
I do, and I love you, sir. Welcome.
I mean, it seemed only fitting considering, the guest of honor tonight. So, to you, sir.
Some blood wine, 2309. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I figured I'd drink something young and sweet. If I'm gonna really nerd out here, why not go all the way? I know. So one pleasure to speak with you. But actually, Martha kind of started her question, kind of really tails into mine, because I almost phrased it in a similar way. Over the years, definitely have noticed some influences, right, in your movement. Moment you said Tai Chi, it's like, yeah, definitely picked bits of that out over the years. But kind of delving a little more specifically from the Klingon martial art aspect, same idea as to some of the weapons combat, right? In particular, you seem to get really comfortable with your mechleth, right, back in DS9 days, something a little less cumbersome than the whacking stick. And it was same idea, right? Kind of what were the influences in that, who you worked with. I think you already actually answered quite a bit of this, but for me, it was always just very interesting to watch you kind of develop your movements and almost translate it to something that could be, almost like a real world style.
It does have its roots in the real world because, like I said, Dan Curry, who everybody knows in Star Trek, is a martial arts master. And so we designed the BARTLETT ourselves. That was not just something that the studio came up with. And it actually works pretty well. I mean, we don't allow a real BARTLETT to be used because it really could hurt somebody. And the mechleth was just another thing that we came up with once again, because we wanted to have something that was less cumbersome, something that you could carry on yourself, for like personal protection. And interestingly enough, we designed it too well, because if you look at the mechleth, there's like a little hook on the side, and that's for if a guy is fighting you with a pole weapon, with something with a staff, you look at and take it away from him. But what happened is that there was a scene that we were doing, and one of the stunt guys, the head stunt guy, the coordinator, was in full mask alien thing, and we were fighting on the holodeck, and he was fighting with one of the pole, and the thing hooked the pole, and the whole mechleth came and sliced open the mask here and blinded him for about 20 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's that's what it's supposed to do.
Right.
That's the crazy part, was that's what it was supposed to do. So, and all of these things have a practical side to them. It's not just a made up something, there is a practical side. In fact, a real quick thing, we were going to do a martial arts video to go out on, like the Paramount licensing thing. And we were talking about it, and everybody was going, "Oh my God, that's such a great idea.
Amazing,
right?" Except for Paramount
lawyers.
Yeah. They said, "You're going to put out a video where you're teaching people how to kill each other." It's like they just saw a lawsuit, and I think they were right. A little kid, is going, "Look, Mom," and starts slicing on his little brother or something.
Well, it sounds to me like that mechleth story, Michael, is the original sorry, not sorry moment. Yeah. Because that's what it was supposed to do.
Right. You can't get mad at the thing when it did what it was designed to do.
Exactly. I also want to, before Juan leaves us, Michael, I think you'll recognize this. Juan is the man who made the rainbow BARTLETT for us. Yes. So all the cosplay and all the activity in his background, he uses it for good. It's good stuff.
Most of the time, yeah. I have a martial arts background myself, so I've worked with wooden versions of it, just to try to get some of the movements involved. And yeah, you can see in the design they were designed to maim and kill, very Klingon, right? Nothing in that is to necessarily disarm or peaceably put down. It's to slaughter, and it does that well.
Awesome. Cool. Well, Juan, thank you so much for joining us, man. And again, for dressing for the occasion. Love it.
Thank you. And thank you, Michael. Great to talk.
There you go. All right. See you soon. Kira, who do we have next?
I have Brian Bartlett up next.
All righty. I can also take this moment to tell you, Michael, Derek was the first surprise. I have another surprise coming for you. Just so you know, it's a good one.
Okay, just be careful.
Yeah.
Prizes may backfire, you never know.
Oh, no. This one can't. It can't. Brian, thanks for joining us. What's your question for Michael?
Oh, my question for you, Michael, is calling from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Seen you a couple times here. Thanks for coming by. My question for you is the development of the philosophy. Klingons do not drink with their enemies. I'm just wondering, since we're in this kind of polarized world that we are in now, what's your thoughts on that now? How it's developed?
How what?
I think basically, kind of like if the show were being written today, do you think that idea of we don't drink with our enemies will be present, or if because of current divisiveness, maybe they change it?
Yeah, I see what you mean. I mean, interestingly enough, I think that the one thing I loved about Worf is that he's always learning, and I can tell you're a fan of the show. When he first started, he was very nationalistic.
Oh, very much, yeah.
Very, Klingons are better than anybody else, and everybody else is weak, and no, Klingons is. And as it developed, he has changed a lot. And I think that at this point, if it was written today, he would be a very thoughtful kind of Klingon. He wouldn't take shit from anybody.
Exactly.
But he would definitely not be as nationalistic as he was. And he was becoming that way because he was learning how flawed Klingons and humans and everybody was. And so he said, I'm going to take the best from each one and make it my own. And Dan knows, I mean, I wrote the script, and, Worf is not to be messed with, but he's a lot more thoughtful and a lot more calculating than he was prior to it. And I think that would be good. I mean, if Gene Roddenberry was writing a show right now, he would have a field day with what's going on in our country. I mean, he would really hit the nail on the head. Hey, what's that flying stuff you got behind you?
Oh, flying! Oh, that's some pictures of my grandfather that flew in the Army when there was not the Air Force, but it was.
Wow, B-29?
I think so. Yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
That's amazing. Good picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a man's airplane.
Exactly.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you.
Much wrong.
Thank you so much, Brian. Really appreciate it. Glad you were able to pop in and join us. Michael, I think your second surprise has arrived. Let's go ahead and unmute Mr. Moog. Mr. Moog, what's going on there?
Please, Worf.
Oh my God.
Karen's aircraft is not the Klingon way. The Klingon way is several telecams back. Turn right at the nearest star, and then on.
Oh.
Infinity.
Oh. Is that JG?
What?
Is that JG?
JG?
I know how many shows you lost.
Wait.
Oh,
there he is.
JG.
I know it's JG.
Oh,
wait, I don't remember. I have no idea what I was talking about. When you remember that line reading.
Oh yeah, and I'll tell you what it was. We were talking with Romulans, and they said, "Yeah, you've already lost like 9 ships." And you go, "I know how many ships we've lost."
I think that was the only honest line reading I ever did in Star Trek, or anything else.
Oh, JG, so good to see you, man. How you doing?
I'm good. You look fabulous, by the way.
Much? You look like you have the beard. We're,
Well, Well, I'm ready to play the old man roles. Every old man role there is in that dang Hollywood town. I'm ready for finally. Was that a B-29? I was watching that. Was it a? It was
B-29. Yeah.
Like the Enola Gay, eh?
Enola Gay. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. My dad. He joined in 1940 in the Army Air Corps, and he was he became a it was maintenance because he had eyesight like mine. He couldn't was not good enough to fly.
Right.
And but he used to work in the B-36.
Okay.
You know what the B-36 is?
Yeah, not Vindicator, but something.
It was the heavy. It was too heavy to stay in the air.
It was too heavy.
It ate up so much gasoline, but it had like 57 engines.
Yeah.
And you know, and
they just kept going. Well, we'll put these prop engines, and that wasn't enough.
Yeah.
Well,
and they had 4 jet engines on the outside of the wing. Anyway, I couldn't. When Dan Deavy called, I start to run, but I didn't run fast enough, so he snagged me.
Oh God!
And he said, "Would you do a little annoying guest spot with the WORF man?" And
you know that if they ever decide to do the WORF spinoff that I wrote and that I've been pitching, you got to get back in the makeup again. You know that.
Well, I'm in makeup now. I'm usually the other guy. I mean, my street makeup is Martine. So I'm there. I'm ready to go.
All right.
Anyway,
so
we are watching. I'll tell you this quick story. We are watching right now a movie by John Ford called Sergeant Rutledge.
Oh yeah. Oh,
you know it?
Oh, very well. Very well. With Woody Strode.
Woody Strode. I did an episode of Diagnosis Murder.
Oh, okay.
One of the production assistants' name was Kalai Strode. And I said, "Strode, are you any relation to Woody Strode?" And he said, "It's my father."
Oh my God.
And I said, "Well, Kalai is a Hawaiian name. How'd you get the Hawaiian name?" He said, "Well, my dad was with the Navy in World War II. They put in at Pearl Harbor after the attack, long after the attack.
Yeah.
And he met and fell in love with a Hawaiian girl.
Oh wow. Okay.
And that was my mom. That was as Kalai said, and she wouldn't leave him. She stayed with him she went onto the boat with him. They she stayed on the ship until they were about a mile out, and then she dove into the water and swam back to Pearl.
Oh my God.
Kalai Strode, Woody Strode's son, told me that. So I said, I told him, I said, Sergeant Rutledge is perhaps one of my favorite John Ford movies. Yeah. And your dad is perhaps the most magnificent looking man I've ever seen.
Totally.
I didn't know he was such an incredible athlete, but beyond that, he was majestic.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know why I told you that story, but we're watching Sergeant Rutledge. We're watching the movie right now, which I'm going to go back to.
Sergeant Buffalo.
Yeah, I know. They sang to him. For all you kids out there, watch Sergeant Rutledge sometime. John Ford, the greatest Western director ever. We're going off, signing off.
Okay, man. So good seeing you,
Michael. Take care of yourself.
Thanks, JG.
Who was that?
That was me. That was Dan. You got to run a little faster from now on, man.
Quiet, Dan. Quiet. Nobody wants to hear from you. Get WORF back on that screen.
You have to love him.
He's one of the greatest Klingons. One of the greatest.
Also, like you, sir, one of the nicest, most easygoing, approachable, non-Klingon guys I have ever met in my life. Like, yeah, love him. So we wanted to bring him in as a quick hello for you, and also to preface this next video we're about to show you, which is, you were talking about if the WORF show happens, we need to get JG back in there. JG has played Martok again since DS9, thanks to the amazing band, the Roddenberries.
Oh, okay.
So we have a little video here that we want to share with you that was produced by the Roddenberries, starring JG and Bob O'Reilly as Gowron and Martok.
Okay.
And they have a little fun at WORF's expense.
Okay, good.
All right, Rich, let's roll it.
Earth people, I was born on Jupiter. Earth people, but I wasn't born yesterday. CCN has been handed an exclusive behind-the-scenes tape of our two big kahunas duking it out over who will be the superior chancellor. Let's rickroll that tape now.
I mean, I'm still pissed at him for killing me. So don't get me started on Mr. WORF.
His brother Kern is the Candyman.
Oh, I know. Hell, I was in Candyman 3. It was no Leprechaun 2.
Where the were we?
We were making fun of your super crabby, treacherous buddy.
Yes, agreed. WORF is indeed angry. Angrier, perhaps, than even myself. But do not slander WORF. He is House Martok. His house was, well, his life has not been easy. If you hit me one more time... Oh, I see. You have a song on the subject. Well, proceed.
Yes. We are now joined by a couple of members of the Roddenberries. We have with us Sister Spock. We have the garish, gayest Cardassian ever, Scott Johnson himself, and of course we have Billy. So Michael, these are the minds behind what we just watched. What did you think?
I thought it was a lot of fun at my expense.
We love you.
It's because we love you, honestly.
A lot of yeah. No, it was funny. It was very funny.
Yeah, way to put him on the spot, Dan.
Hey, you know
Dan,
that.
here's the band. How did you feel about that?
Well, actually, and Dan said that I could, if I at any moment, if I had enough, I could just walk off. I could just walk.
Nice.
Wow, we are honored.
And he stayed. He's still here. And yeah. And I did warn him that there were going to be a lot of WORF jokes in there. But, Michael, I met the Roddenberries because they had been working with JG on his political campaign when he was running for office. And
right.
it was his launch party for the campaign, and they performed on stage. It was the first time I had ever seen them. And it was basically what you just saw, except live on stage. And then JG said, okay, now, Dan, you go up. And I was like, how the fuck am I supposed to follow that? Yeah. And I got on stage and I was like, I don't know exactly what that was, but I loved every second of it. And ever since, like, anytime I can work with these guys, I'm chomping at the bit to do it. I think they're amazing.
Very cool.
It's really fun.
Very nice job. It was a very nice job.
Thank you so much.
DORN, we're a big fan. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Just real quick, kind of tell everybody how, because getting JG HERTZLER back in the Martok makeup, Bob O'Reilly and Gowron makeup, during a pandemic.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Nonetheless, well played, everyone. Well played.
Well,
How did you do it?
We did two things. One, a small away team, so to speak, drove up to JG's house and set up an outside studio. And we, John Paladin, who does his makeup for all the conventions, he gave us all the, we know John and we worked with him, and he gave us all the prosthetics and sent them to me. We drove up. And so we spent a whole day outside of JG's house doing this whole thing. So he's actually, like, we brought the keys. There's in our show, we have a 90-minute show called Showdown 2020, which is Martok versus Gowron. And and it's a musical concert essentially. And we actually have HERTZLER playing keys on this. So we went up there. We did his makeup. We brought a makeup person, and then we also had a crew in LA go to Bob's house in his garage. It was and all very socially distant. Everybody got tested before they went, so we were able to do it that way. And John also sent all of Gowron, Bob's prosthetics to him, so it was pretty cool.
You couldn't get the makeup like that.
You're done, huh?
Well, Bob and JG are whores, so they'll just do anything. Not even for money, they'll just do it.
Thank you guys so much for popping in and saying hello and for letting us share that tonight. For all of our viewers, if you want to check out the entire, it's a 90-minute rock opera, basically, starring Martok and Gowron. Guys, tell us where people can find that.
Vimeo. It's on Vimeo on demand. Vimeo.com/on-demand/showdown2020. I'll send you the link, but it's ready to go. We updated some of the things before we relaunched it, and there's another special Star Trek guest on there as well. So gotta wait to the end to find out.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much, and it was an honor to meet you.
A pleasure, man. Thank you so much.
We hope to see you in Vegas, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we'll all find out together, right? We're supposed to be the house band for Creation this year, so.
Yeah. We don't know, but.
Yeah.
But
if it's safe, hopefully, we'll be able to all see each other again. Maybe not the way we would like. We might not be hugging or taking pictures or things like that, but.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Excellent. All right, now we're going to do some really fast, quick fan questions. B, thank you so much for joining us.
Hi.
Let's do your question real quick to Michael.
Okay. I've been watching a lot of DS9, and I was just wondering what your favorite aspect of Jadzia and Worf's relationship was. I liked how playful they were, and so I was wondering what you thought.
I thought that was besides Kalar, which is the first girlfriend.
Mm-hmm. Kalar's my favorite.
Yeah, they handled Jadzia the way it should be. I think the other kind of, but Jadzia was just like Worf, kind of tall, can go at it, and
definitely could give him a run for his money.
Exactly, and I think that they handled that very well. They handled it
awesome.
And
thank you.
The best part was that Terry and I were friends before the show.
Oh, you can tell.
Yeah, so we basically trusted each other as actors and got along very well. So, and like you said, I think it came across.
It definitely did. Well, thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so much, B. Yeah, I think, oh, great. We are all queued up with our next question. We have Ben. Ben, how are you?
Great, thanks.
Ben.
Hi, Michael. Great to meet you. I had a question that it's actually kind of been dwelling on my mind for a while, but I was a huge fan of StarCraft 2 when it came out, and Legacy of the Void when it came out, just especially blew my mind because it had you and John Delancey and Trisha Helfer all in it voicing characters at once, and you were definitely the most well-known voice actors that were in that game, and I was just kind of wondering what that was like, if that was kind of a really good what that experience was like.
Well, two things. I mean, when you're doing voiceovers, it's cool because there's no makeup, you don't have to get dressed up, there's no wardrobe, there's nothing like that. You just kind of show up like you want to show up, which is always good. But the other part of that is they do your role at different times, and so you never really see the other people. Very, very rarely do you see the other people. And so you just kind of do it and you do the best you can, and they say thank you and you leave. And then it takes a while. It takes a couple of years for it to come out. And so you've forgotten about it. And somebody will say, "Oh, Michael, you did really nice on that show." And I went, "I have no idea what you're talking about," you know. But
that's surprising because you pretty much voice every piece of animation and video game that I've consumed in the past 5 years.
Yeah.
I'm constantly telling Dan, like, "Oh, Michael's done this. Oh, Michael's done that."
Yeah, and so it becomes I mean, it's fine. That's how they do it. Nothing really you can do about that. But it is one of those things where, you know, you do it, you go in and you're done. And you kind of, you know, you go to the next because it's so fast. I mean, they're so good at what they do that they get you in, especially even if it's one of those role-playing games where you have to voice 10 different iterations of a particular scene. Like, don't go left, go right. Oh, you went right. There's 10 things. I mean, it's really something. But they get through it really well, but it's kind of like you're in and out.
Well, you know, speaking of video games, Michael, you were involved in Mass Effect, right?
Yeah.
Which
I love that game.
All right, babe, calm down. Calm down. We just activated the first gentleman of Gays in Space, everyone. He loves his video games. I don't play them. He forces me sometimes. But from what I've been told, Mass Effect is really kind of one of the first video games to incorporate a gay relationship in two of the characters. Right? Rich, give me a thumbs up. Am I correct? Yeah. And are they now doing another one or doing something like changing something to it, something new?
I have not.
They're doing a new episode. But yeah, they are going to be doing a new one. But we would love Michael Dorn to voice act another alien race on that. I think that your character got killed off though, so it may be a little bit tricky.
Yeah.
Spoiler, sorry.
As if death has ever been a problem in sci-fi.
No.
Michael, what you're saying? We're in space, for Christ's sakes.
We're in space. Nobody got it.
Awesome. Ben, thank you so much, man.
Thank you so much.
Great to see you. Now we have Jenna. Hey, Jenna.
Hey, hi, everyone. Hi, Michael.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Dan was just telling me the other weekend that you just finished writing a Western, and I was just curious, like, what led you to that? Is it like an actual interest in the history of Old West, or did you just grow up with a love of like Wild West TV shows and movies, or how did that come about?
You know, we love Westerns growing up. I mean, this was the days when you played cowboys and Indians all day long. And, you know, we watched the John Wayne movies and I mean, you were just inundated. And then Warner Brothers had, I don't know, maybe 12. It seemed like a lot of Westerns. And so I always liked the genre a lot. It doesn't really lend itself to our lives these days, but it is definitely a wonderful escape for me. And I had this idea for a couple of years, and my manager said, "Hey, Michael, you got to write it out," because she's read my stuff and Dan's read my stuff. And, you know, I'm not a writer per se, but I do write what I'm passionate about, and it's easy. So that's why I did it. And the one great thing about Westerns is that because they don't do many anymore, the ones that really get the most accolades are the really, really good ones. You know, the last one was The Unforgiven, Clint Eastwood's movie. And it was just a spectacular movie, just spectacular. Well shot, well acted, you know, an amazing, and as you can tell, there's no message in it. You know, there really isn't any message, you know.
I mean, sometimes, like I've been watching a lot of Bonanza. I don't know if that's one you liked or not, but I was surprised actually how much topical stuff and like messages there actually are in it.
Well, I think that in those days you had to, because it was serialized. I mean, there's 26 episodes, sometimes more a year.
More on ours.
And, you know, fact is much more exciting than fiction. And so they just took stories that were of the day. And I think that you have to, especially with a show that's that popular. I think you're just going to run out of guys robbing banks, you know. But you know, but also in those days, not all the shows, but most of the shows had stories. It was about a moral, you know, a moral play, or morality play, excuse me. So they had to come up with that stuff, and it was very easy because there was a bunch of crap going on in the 50s.
Oh yeah.
And of course, there's always the timeless message of learn how to duck when someone is shooting at you.
You know, my favorite duck story is Superman. You know, the old Superman. Bullets would bounce off of him, but the guy would throw the gun and he'd duck.
Also in the same movie, Superman would fly in space and be fine. But then if he was encased in a bubble created by the supercomputer that Richard Pryor made, he couldn't breathe. And he was going to die because he couldn't breathe. It's like, how the hell did he fly in space?
Well, you know, the funny thing is about movies and TV, it's very hard for me to watch them these days because they think of bits. They think of things to do. Like, wouldn't it be great if this? And then they go, yeah. And then they write around that instead of writing a story. And you just run into trouble. You just run into things and you go, that makes no sense.
I think most of us, Michael, are probably the only ones who are noticing that, which is the sad fact. I think so many people are like, what a great bit. And the rest of us are like, yeah, except it makes no sense. Work a little harder, writer.
There was something in the new Wonder Woman movie, something they wrote in that like really served no purpose. And I thought I could see where they could have gone with it, and they totally didn't. So there was like no purpose for it just other than just do it. And I was just like, what?
Yeah, no. You get a lot of that these days. You know, like the second Star Trek movie, they were on a planet and they were chasing these guys and the Enterprise was underwater, you know, and you go, and then that's it. You never knew anything, what happened after that. You go, well, why did they go through all that, you know?
Just to look cool.
Does it look cool? That's what
Because since they could do CGI underwater, that's where the Enterprise should hide. Not, I don't know, in space. Anyway, we don't want to get on that track. Jenna, thank you so much. Great to see you.
Thank you very much, Michael.
Morgan and Jessie, hi.
Well, what do you know?
It's good to see you.
What do you know? Morgan and Jessie. Well, guess who?
It's good to see you again. How have you been?
Hey guys, how you doing? It's been a while, right?
I know, which that's related to my question. Just that, of course, it's been a while for all of us to get to do these things that we love and be together. And we've certainly missed you and all the wonderful events that we normally get to do in person. So I was just curious, a lot of people have used this difficult time to like learn a new skill or take comfort in an old skill or something like that. So I was just curious, what hobbies or practices or things have you been really focusing on to get you through this time right now lately?
Before the COVID thing, I had gone into health and fitness and trying to, you know, work as much as I can in that area. And then when the COVID hit, I still went to the gym a couple of times, but then it got to be a little dangerous. And so I stopped. But in the meantime, I started to write my Western opus, as you heard before. I had this idea for a Western for a long time, and I decided to write it out. And turned out really nice, and I love it. And hopefully, we can find somebody that will produce it for us. But that's kind of it, you know. And you know, everything's an opportunity for me. And so, you know, we're stuck in a house, and so, you know, the opportunity is to find out more about yourself. You know, you learn more about yourself, about, you know.
And so much more about your siblings, whether you like to or not.
Oh, tell you something. I have had 2 or 3 couples who have been married for like 30 years or more who don't like each other anymore. I mean, they're not going to break up, but they're like going, you know, like my buddy calls and says, I don't know who the hell is that woman in the house with me. she's driving me insane, So, couples, I think they have it the worst because now they don't have a choice. They can't just go.
Can't escape. Well, it's a good thing we love each other that we're stuck together.
Yeah.
There you go.
Anyway, well, that's awesome. That sounds like a way more productive quarantine than I had. I did not write a Western opus or anything near that. So kudos and thank you very much for sharing.
Hopefully this will be over in a while and we can get back to seeing people in person again.
Can't wait.
Yeah, you bet.
That's all right. Thank you very much.
You guys, good seeing you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
All right, we have Shane now, and Michael, I have to say, I totally agree. COVID is the crucible for all relationships.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Rich and I, we live in a railroad-style apartment.
It's so small.
In Hell's Kitchen in Midtown Manhattan, and we still love each other.
Mm-hmm.
There are a few bumps. There are a few things, but we've made it through. And I think without COVID, I wouldn't feel quite so confident popping the question pretty soon.
Yeah, the thing is that, there's a difference. You guys are gay, and that's a difference,
It's true. You would assume that given the fact that we're two men, we would have the same annoying habits.
No. Guys kind of get guys and they kind of go, we're guys, so we don't think about a lot of shit, It's sort of like, and if something's bothering you, you say, God, you're an asshole. And he says, well, you're an asshole. Yeah, we're both assholes. Well, let's go out to dinner then. It's really different. I'm sorry.
Look, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Plus we get to wear each other's clothing.
Wardrobe, when you move in, your wardrobe doubles.
Yes.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Totally. Shane, how are you? Good to see you.
Awesome. It's great to meet you virtually, Michael. Big fan. I actually just this summer did a full Deep Space Nine watch for the first time and got to absorb it as a whole instead of just periodic episodes where I was like, okay, I guess it's a thing, whatever. But I really enjoyed a lot of the depth on there and a lot of the arcs that you were part of. And my question is, so if you are piloting something that has a co-pilot and you could choose either one character from Star Trek or one actor that you've worked with on Star Trek as your co-pilot, who would that be?
It'd be Famke Janssen.
All right.
Yeah, we all know it definitely cannot be Marina. She crashes the ship every time.
Hey!
You just love her, but you don't put her behind the
love.
Troy, yes. Marina, no. Marina is she's my best friend, but I'm telling you, she is wild. She's wild. But if I'm piloting something, I mean, there's nothing better than looking over and seeing Famke Janssen next to you. It's very funny. When she did the show, people were running over to me going, Michael, you've got to see this woman. I mean, they were just like, oh my God, It was very funny. But yeah, that's who I'd have.
All right.
Shane, thank you so much.
Thank you, Shane.
Great to see you. Kat, how are you? Great to see you. What's your question for Michael?
Hi, everybody. Hi, Michael. Nice to meet you again. I've met you once before, ages in LA. My question for you is, are you watching the new Raised by Wolves series or any new sci-fi that's out right now?
Oh, no, I haven't. No, I have not. No, I haven't.
Wanted to know if you're watching anything, any of the new sci-fi and what's your take on anything that's out there right now. But it sounds like you're more into Westerns.
Yeah, I started to watch Altered Carbon a little bit. And there's a bunch of anime of Ghost in the Shell.
Oh, okay.
Some of it's really, really good.
I've heard.
Yeah, but then there was one show that I did binge on, which it wasn't sci-fi. It was called The Bureau. It's a French show. And oh my God, it was spectacular. But there was another one, The Expanse. I wanted to watch that. And the problem with me is that I think I'm just kind of jaded because I've been in the business for so long, that they start out and it's going pretty good and you're kind of liking it. You're kind of going, yeah. And then something happens and it just turns you right off. You know, you just kind of go, yeah, I'd rather make a sandwich, you know? So,
That's fair enough.
yeah, but there really isn't too much science fiction that I'm watching right now.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for answering.
You're welcome, Kat. Good seeing you.
Appreciate you.
Thanks
You
so
too.
much, Kat. Yeah, either make a sandwich or go write a Western, which,
I'll go write a Western, you know, in my spare time.
yeah. What is the name of that, by the way?
Well, the original is Quentin Hawks, but I think it's going to be called The Road to Trinidad is a better name, better title.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, that is a better title because you'd rather be on your way to somewhere than just with a guy.
Right.
Andrea, hi.
Hi, Andrea.
Hi.
Oh, how are you?
Good. So I grew up watching you on TNG. Actually, my parents, I was inducted because that's what they watched. And so when I was a kid, that's what was on. So I grew up watching you, which was super awesome. But my question actually was, I saw that you were a vegan. What is your go-to comfort vegan dish?
Oh, there's two, burgers and fries and tacos.
Yum. Any specific combo or?
Well, you know, no, burgers and fries are with Impossible meat. I don't know if you've heard of that.
Yes.
Just spectacular. I mean, my girlfriend and I, we look at each other like, okay, somebody is joking with us. It's a scam. This is meat. But that, and I make that, you know, I mean, you get the burgers and do all this stuff. I do the stuff from scratch. And then I do tacos with Impossible meat. And they're spectacular. They're spectacular. Well, those are my two comfort foods. I used to do pizza. When I was eating meat, I would have a Domino's thin crust triple pepperoni, and that's when I was mad. I was pissed off at somebody, and I go, "Oh, I'm gonna have it with a glass of champagne." But now it's burgers and tacos. So
awesome. Thank
Wow.
you.
Well, you know, Domino's pizza. I'm a little mad at you, Michael. That's not pizza. That New Yorker. That's not pizza, my friend.
The thing is that you can't get a good New York pizza in LA. It's true. Except one place in LA called Nick's on Beverly. They had a great deep dish pizza. And it's vegan. And it was delicious.
You know, Andrea, I'm so glad you asked this question because I have always marveled, Michael, when you went vegan, like, man, you went vegan. You went all in, and the health benefits for you, like you can tell everybody, were just immeasurable.
You know, I could go on and on about it and people are going to go, or whatever. But you know, when you stop putting stuff in your body that causes disease, your body has a chance to really do what it's supposed to do. Your weight goes to where you're supposed to be, you know, all of that stuff, because your body is just processed. And once you stop, like meat, your body goes, oh my God, thank you. Now I can concentrate on my lymph systems or whatever the case. And also, you know, sugar causes cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Big time. So you get rid of that, you know, your chances. And I got to say, I'm a big health and fitness guy, and I play tennis every day for a couple of hours, you know, really hard tennis. And my stamina is better than what it was before. And you know, and I can just go out there and run all day.
Yeah, I think aside from the fact that you are clearly genetically blessed to always be young, and I don't know if there have been deals with devils that have been made, I think a lot of it has to do with how committed you are to being a vegan, and I'm going to try. I'm going to try to get there.
Dan, I think that you've got to, now this is what when people say, you know, they want to do this, John Delancey called me one day. He said, Michael, I heard you went through your prostate cancer and I'm going through this cancer thing. And you said that food and blah, 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 blah. And I said, yeah, it's very important. He says, well, like what? I said, well, dairy. You got to get rid of dairy. And he goes, I can't do that. And I go, well, then what are you talking to me about? You don't try to negotiate. If you negotiate, you're lost. So I would say, especially because you're still a young guy, you would see a huge difference in 1 week. 1 week.
Really? You think so?
You got it. And you're in New York, so it's not difficult to find vegan places. But if you do it for 1 week, you would see a huge difference. Huge.
All right. You know what? On behalf of Rich and myself, challenge accepted.
Do you have any recommendations for books or anything like that for going vegan?
There are quite a few. There's quite a few cookbooks. There's quite a few books. But there is a movie that you got to see called Game Changers.
Game Changers?
Yeah. And
Okay.
I think you can get it on iTunes or anything. But it's about vegan athletes. And these are all Olympic athletes. They are weightlifters. They're all kinds. There was a lady who was a bicyclist, Olympic bicyclist, who went vegan and she won a bunch of contests. And it's a real interesting and informative, and it gets a little deeper than just don't kill animals. So that's one that's what you got to watch.
Cool. Thank you
Awesome.
so much.
Andrew, thank you so much. Michael, we have one last question. Jonathan is joining us. Jonathan, thanks for being with us. What's your question for Michael?
Thank you. Hi, good evening, Mr. Dorn. Pleasure to see you. A quick question about Deep Space Nine and Next Generation, I suppose. So we've seen your portrayal of Worf as a Starfleet officer, but more importantly, we've also seen him portrayed by you as a father, a husband, and a widower. And of those three, I didn't know if you had a particular one of those three family roles that you felt was the most compelling for you to portray, and whether or not you had specific instances in your life that helped to inform how you portrayed each of those roles.
Very good question. I mean, I think that they were all so different that it's kind of hard to choose which one is better. I mean, I think that the grieving widower was good, and the one thing about Worf is that, we like him when he's going through a lot of crap. I mean, we do, because he's dealing with it in an honest way, which means he doesn't know how to deal with it. He just takes things as they come. But if I had to choose one of those, it would be the father. I thought that they handled that extremely well on Next Generation and on Deep Space, which is something that I was very fortunate to have to deal, because when it was on Next Generation, he was having a struggle, like a real struggle. And that struggle continued. And it was better on Deep Space because the actor was a wonderful actor who played my son. And they were at each other's throats. I mean, they were like, not at each other. They just they didn't get it. They just didn't.
It was a Klingon ship, so I mean,
So, but in the end, it was easy to play, or it was something I was familiar with, because my dad left when we were 8 years old, and you had to fend for yourself, basically. I had a mother and a family that took care of us. Believe me, it wasn't like we're out on the street. But there's a lot of stuff that you miss, that in terms of that information that you would get from a father. I don't regret not having a father, because maybe I turned out to be an asshole like he was. But, I mean, those are stuff that you think about in your quiet moments. But I thought that they did a very nice job, And Dan knows that the script I wrote for the Worf spinoff, my son plays prominently.
Mm-hmm.
He's come into his own in the script, and he is still trying to find his way. And Worf has finally turned out to be a decent father, you know, because he's not a father anymore. He's a friend. And that's what's more important.
That's fascinating. So with the story arc that Alexander went through, with his relationship with Worf, it differed so much in the way it grew from Next Generation, obviously, to DS9 because of the age difference. Is there a different character arc that you would have liked to have seen, like a different way that you would have liked that relationship to have gone between TNG and DS9, or are you satisfied with the way that it was?
I was very satisfied.
That's great.
I was very happy with that. You know, if there was one thing that I wish they had of, I think they chickened out just because they knew they were supposed to do it one way, and they kind of like, no, we're not going to do it that way. We're going to do it this way because everybody expecting us to do it, you know, is the story arc when Jadzia got killed and Nicole DeBoer came on. I still thought that Worf and Ezri should have been together.
It did seem like it was heading there briefly.
It really should have, because there was really a super interesting story there, a really interesting story there, rather than Dr. Bashir and Ezri. You know, my scene that I wanted is remember the last scene where I'm leaving and she's up on the second tier and she kind of waves and I just look at her. I wish that Bashir had been standing next to her and she goes, I'm sorry. And she jumps over and I catch her and we go off.
Now that is a Worf ending.
Now that's a Worf ending.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much. It was a pleasure to see you. Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jonathan. Michael, it's funny you say that because Terry and I, the first time I sat down with Terry for an interview, we talked about what should have happened after she left the show. And we both agreed it would have been fascinating to have seen the Dax symbiont put into a super hot dude, like a Trojan warrior style dude who came over, and Worf is kind of like, I'm not sure why, but I'm kind of into this. Terry found that hilarious, as do I. Missed opportunity.
And you are so gay.
So gay, right? I don't deny it. I don't deny it. We love you, sir. Thank you so much for being here with us, for spending your time with us. Agent Revelation is available video on demand everywhere tomorrow, January the 22nd. And again, Michael, thank you so much. It's always great.
Yeah, good seeing everybody. Take it easy now.
Thank you, sir. All right, everybody, it is time for a little bit of trivia because we have some stuff to give away. Now, the types of trivia videos we have for you all tonight are Who Said It? It's going to be a video of a fellow gays and spacer recreating the lines of a Star Trek actor character in an episode. And what you have to do is tell us who the first person was to say the line. The first person to raise their hand gets first shot at answering the question.
All right, guys, no cheating, okay? I can see everybody's names and everybody's hands. If I see you put your hand up before the question is done, you're out. Eliminated.
I'm the pushover here. Kira, not a pushover. Me. That's why I put them in charge, not me. All right, Rich, roll the first one.
If there's nothing wrong with me, then there must be something wrong with the universe.
We are promoting Rosalie.
Hi, great to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too.
All right, so who said it?
Beverly Crusher.
Boom. Well done. Good job.
I've had to say that line to myself a lot during the Trump administration.
It is an oddly prescient line at this point. Yes. Well, not anymore. Not anymore, everybody.
No.
Crazy Town is over. Crazy Town has left the station. Awesome, but congratulations, Rosalie. You have won. We make 8.5 by 11 prints from the promo banner that we create for the night that the actor will sign to you. So Michael will be signing a little thing for you, and we'll be sending that to you. So congrats.
Yay. Thank you.
Thank you so much. See you soon.
Okay.
All right, Rich, cue up the next one.
We are not accorded the luxury of choosing the woman we fall in love with. Do you think Sorella is anything like the woman I thought I'd marry? She is a prideful, arrogant, mercurial woman who shares my bed far too infrequently for my taste. And yet, I love her deeply.
All right, Kira, who was the first one with a hand up? It can't be Andrea because...
No. It's Brian Bartlett.
All right, let's bring him in.
That would be Chancellor Martok.
Exactly. Very well done. Awesome. Well, congrats. You, sir, have also won a personally autographed photo of Mr. Dorn that we're going to send to you.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. All right, Rich, next one.
That's the thing about faith. If you don't have it, you can't understand it, but if you do, well, no explanation is necessary.
Yes, Vicky. Very, very well done. Let's see who the first person is who can identify.
Andrew Goodman coming in as a panelist.
Andrew, how are you?
Happy New Year, and I know the answer is funny. It's Kira Nerys.
Boom. Exactly correct. Major Kira Nerys, well done. Congrats, my friend. We're going to be sending you a personalized autograph from Mr. Dorn. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you.
Great to see you. All right, Rich, next up, hit it.
There are two settings, stun and kill. It would be best not to confuse them.
Amazing. Now, the first person to raise their hand to answer this, you're going to have to be right because I don't remember. If Jenna's still with us, Jenna can confirm. I think I know.
Okay, I'm going to promote our first person, Zach Schramm.
All right, great. Let's bring her in at the same time, actually.
Okay.
Jenna, if you're prepared, I don't know if you've already put the rollers in your hair and you're ready for bed and you don't want to be on camera, but yay, you're still camera ready and gorgeous. Yay.
I wouldn't say gorgeous, but I'm here.
You don't have to say it. I said it. That's
okay.
All right, and here comes Zach.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, Zach. Thanks for being here. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing well. Doing well. Okay, who said it?
To Paul?
Nope.
Ooh.
See, this is why it's great that we brought you back in because I thought it was to Paul.
Do you want to give someone else a shot?
Yeah, let's keep Zach with us.
Okay.
Zach, stay with us.
Bringing in David coming in.
All right, David. So we know it's not to Paul. What do you think?
Okay, my guess is actually Commander Data.
Data, Jenna is
no.
Ooh, okay.
Was that a no as well?
It's a no, yeah.
Oh man.
Oh boy. All right, no. We're gonna
I
keep
could give a hint. Do you want a hint?
No, no hints.
No hints. Okay.
All right. Next hand, Jason Millard coming in.
All right. Yeah, I want to keep this going and see how many people we end up with on screen. Yes. This might be a new element to the game that I never thought of doing. I love it. Let's see. By the way, just so you guys know, Zach and David, everyone who participates ends up winning something. So don't worry, you haven't lost anything. Yeah, all right, Jason, do you have the correct answer, sir? Good to see you, by the way.
You too. Oh God. The last one was my guess, so I'm gonna go with someone totally oblivious. I'm gonna say Rom.
No.
Not Rom. Okay. Woo. All right. Thank goodness this webinar can host 100 people at the same time.
Can we replay the clip maybe?
Oh,
Get
yeah.
a refresh in everybody's minds.
I love that idea. Rich, let's run it again.
There are 2 settings, stun and kill. It would be best not to confuse them.
All right. I'm bringing in Mary Beth.
Hey, how are you?
Doing all right. How are you?
Fantastic. It's great
Yay.
to meet you. So what do you think? Who is it?
Tuvok.
No.
No.
I picked a hard one when I did this.
I thought it was Tuvok talking to Neelix. I'm sorry. Okay.
No, don't be sorry. This is fantastic. We're playing a really fun game of Zoom Tetris. And because every time someone new comes in, it's a different shape. It's like, ooh, we need a straight line. Ooh, we're going to need a square. All right, let's see. Who else do we have with a hand raised, Kira?
We got Brian Jensen.
All right, let's bring in my man, Brian. Brian,
he might know this.
Can you decode this? Who said it?
Who said it? Oh boy. Okay, I'm gonna take a wild guess. Spock?
Oh, wow.
Wait, hold on. I'm going to lower all the hands. If there's anyone who thinks they absolutely know the answer, raise your hand.
Yeah, that sounds
Okay.
good.
All right, I'm bringing in Cat King.
All right.
Yay, Cat.
Yay.
No, Cat.
All right, I think Kat is going to get this. I think Kat is going to clinch it. The number 6 coming in.
Cat.
Malcolm Reed.
You got it.
And the only reason I know it is because I just saw that episode. I don't remember what it was, but it's on the Heroes and Icons. Does anybody have Sling and watch the Heroes and Icons?
I used to watch H&I when I
They made that for me. They made that whole thing just for me. I love the transitions between the shows too. But I just watched the episode.
What season? What season is that?
That's got to be season 1 or 2.
The quote's from the second half of the pilot.
Pilot, that's right. It's got. It's like
That's
the first or
right.
second
Okay.
season.
I actually, because it was a while
Broken
ago I
bow.
recorded that, I had to quick. I was like, I had Reed in my head correctly, right? So I was like,
I
trying
knew
to
it
find
was
the
like
source.
early
I got
on in the
quote.
show. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, okay, I'm right. It is Reed.
You all secretly knew. I know you all knew. It was back there somewhere, you know. But in those Enterprise years, we all just kind of checked out. So I'm just getting back into the series now. But yeah, that's
Did my best to follow it.
good one, Jenna. It's so good to see you.
Yes, it's great to see you too, Kat.
All right, you're all going back to attendees, and we'll get the next clip going.
And let me just say, everyone who ventured a guess, you've all won as well, because that's
You're all
just amazing.
Yep, I'm
Thank
keeping
you.
I'm keeping a running tally.
I
You got all
share
your
whatever
names.
I get. Oh, whatever
Thank
little
you.
signing I get, I share it all with you. Everyone will get a little screenshot.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kat, for cracking
Thank you.
the code. Thank you, Jason, Mary Beth, David, who else? Brian, and Zach. See, right now, everyone, I'm looking at the screen, but it's flipped. It's like a mirror image, so I can't read names there. I have to read the names down here. So that was everybody, right? That came in? Yes. Thank you all. Good job. And again, everyone's going to get a personalized autograph from our buddy Dorney. All right, Rich, let's do the next one.
I have been and always will be your friend.
Oh, I love that one. From our friend Kim down in Florida. All right, Kira, who do we have?
We have Sabrina.
Hi, everybody.
Hey,
I'm
Sabrina.
very excited. This is my third Gaze in Space, and I have to say that was Mr. Spock to Kirk.
Well done. Very, very well done. Now, Sabrina, I'm curious. This is your third. What were your first two?
My first was Miss Kate Mulgrew, and my second was Mr. Bob Picardo.
Oh.
I'm a big Voyager fan, in case you couldn't tell.
Yes.
That's awesome. You're in very good company, especially now. Have you heard about the Voyager documentary that they're filming?
No, the latest thing I heard was Miss Mulgrew doing the audiobook of Janeway's autobiography, but documentary, that sounds incredible.
Yes, and we are actually going to have the behind the scenes team that are filming the doc on Gaze in Space with us in early March. It's the same team that did the DS9 documentary, What We Left Behind, which was so amazing. So they're launching, the Voyager doc people are launching an Indiegogo campaign March 1st so that they can do the same thing, which is upgrade Voyager footage to HD quality for the doc, which, you know, like, I want to see a good Star Trek documentary as much as the next person. And I might give $5, $10 towards that. But if you're going to upgrade to HD for me, I mean, I'm sorry, Rich, our vacation is canceled. I'm giving it to the Voyager doc people because I want to see as much of that as possible.
Yes, please.
Yep, VoyagerDocumentary.com. You can find them on their social medias at Voy Documentary is usually what their handle is.
Amazing. Thank you so much for telling me about that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for being here with us. And hopefully we will continue seeing you at more Gaze in Space.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, Rich, run the next one.
I usually find that the truth is just an excuse for a lack of imagination.
That's our friend Adriana, who played in one of our Trekkie Feud games.
All right, we got Lane Page.
Hi.
Hey, Lane, how are you?
I'm really good. How are you?
Doing great. It's great to see you. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me. That was Garrick.
Boom! That was so quintessential Garrick. Yes. Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
So, is this Lane? You've been to a few of our things. I'm trying to remember.
Voltaire last time. I've been a big Voltaire fan for years and years. I got to sing on stage with him like a decade ago in Salem. So that was awesome. I also got to talk to John Billingsley for like 5 or 6 minutes during one of them. Oh, that was hilarious. Hysterical. Thank you so much. I love you guys.
Oh, that is so awesome. Lane, it's so great to see you. Thank you for being with us again. Hopefully we will see you at the next Gaze in Space. We have a lot of good stuff coming up. So keep your eyes peeled, and congrats on winning a personally autographed photo of Mr. Michael Dorn.
Yay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Kira, do we have Nick with us?
Yes, he is here. I've already promoted. Okay.
Not that he was waiting for his
No.
Everyone, wrong warrior race.
Okay, so Nick, you are the keeper of the prize wheel.
Yes,
So,
I'm the wheelmaster.
You are the wheelmaster.
It is a really important job, and I hate myself for making the joke.
Oh, you've just won the evening. Okay, the really important. I mean, that is such a horrible dad joke. You'd expect me to make it. Well done. Well done. Okay, for everyone that is with us, when you got your ticket had a specific number to it, and we have put all of those numbers into Nick's magic wheel. He is going to spin the wheel, and we're going to find out who has won a $50 gift card to the Agent Revelation online store. And they have hoodies, they have baseball tees, regular tees, hats, books. They have this killer framed canvas, a lot of really, really cool stuff to choose from if you're one of the winners. So, Nick, I am throwing it over to you. That is an impressive wheel. It is gay as all get out, and I love it.
You know it. Come one, come all. This will choose your number. Let's see who it is. Is there a Megan L in the house?
Megan lads, coming in.
Hey, Megan, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm really well. Congratulations. The wheel landed on you.
That's amazing. This is my first Gaze in Space.
Really?
Welcome.
Yes. I'm having a really good time.
That is awesome. Thank you so much for being here, for joining us. How did you hear about us?
My friend Ben KRAMER.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, Ben.
He's
a
the best.
handsome devil right there.
Mhm.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here. Congratulations on your win. Check out the website. You're going to see there's a lot of cool stuff to choose from, and make sure you see the movie.
Yeah, the trailer looked really cool.
Yeah. Awesome. We are definitely over time. So I just want to thank you all again so much for being with us. And hey, everybody, live long and be fabulous.